Alright, so today we are looking at how to solve linear inequalities. The instructions are: solve the following inequalities, graph the solution set, and write it in interval notation. So our first example is 4 minus 2x is less than or equal to negative 40. To solve this inequality, I'm trying to get x by itself, so I know that I need to move 4 and negative 2 over to the right side. The first thing I'm going to do is move 4 by subtracting 4 from each side. After I subtract 4 from each side, the 4's here cancel out, and I have negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 44. Then I need to move the negative 2 by dividing both sides by negative 2. The negative 2's will cancel, and I have x is less than or equal to positive 22. So this is going to be my answer. I need to graph it and then write it in interval notation. To graph my answer, I would draw a number line with negative infinity on the left, positive infinity on the right, and 22 somewhere in between. Now from here, I need to look at my symbol. If I look here, it says x is less than 22. So anything that's going to be less than 22 is going to be to the left, going towards negative infinity. So that means I'm going from 22 towards negative infinity. I'm going to the left. And since it is less than or equal to, I'm going to make a solid dot over the 22. That means I'm including 22 in my answer. If I look at my graph, this tells me exactly how to set up my interval notation. I know that my interval will start at negative infinity and it will end at positive 22. Remember that you always put a parenthesis next to the infinity. And for our symbol on 22, we look at our dot, we notice that it's closed. So that means I'm going to put a bracket here because, again, I'm including that number. And this would be the solution. Next, I have example 2. 3x minus 7 is greater than or equal to 6x plus 2. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move the x's to one side and then everything else to the other. I'm going to move 6x over to the left by subtracting it from both sides. The 6x's cancel. 3x minus 6x is negative 3x, and I have minus 7 is greater than or equal to positive 2. From here, I'm going to move 7 over to the right side by adding it to both sides. My 7's will cancel, and I have negative 3x is greater than or equal to positive 9. The last thing I need to do to get x by itself is divide both sides by negative 3. The negative 3's will cancel. Because I'm dividing by a negative 3, I know that my symbol is going to change direction. So now when I rewrite this, it's going to become x is less than or equal to 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. Every time you divide by a negative number, your symbol for inequality will flip. From here, what I need to do is graph my solution, and I can do that by drawing my number line, making sure negative infinity is at one end, positive infinity is at the other end. Negative 3 is going to be somewhere in the middle. I know that my symbol is less than or equal to, so they're equal to means I have a solid dot. Anything less than negative 3 would be going to the left of it towards negative infinity. So this is going to be my graph portion of my answer. And then I would use that to set up my interval notation. It starts at negative infinity and it ends at negative 3. Always a parenthesis on an infinity. And since my dot is filled in, that means that I have a bracket over the negative 3. All right, example 3. For example 3, I have negative 5x plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 4 times x minus 1. The first thing I need to do here is distribute the negative 4. I'm going to distribute all of it. So this is going to become negative 5x plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 4x plus, minus, it is plus 1. Sorry. Negative times a negative is a positive. So 4 times 1 is positive 4. From here, I'm going to move my x's to one side. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to just move them to the left. That way when I read my inequality, it is x is the inequality symbol and then the number. So I'm going to move the negative 4x over by adding it to both sides. The 4x's will cancel. And I have negative x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 4. From here, what I need to do is subtract 4 to get it away from x and move it over to the right. When I subtract 4 from both sides, these 4's cancel, and so do these. On the left side, I have negative x. My inequality symbol is greater than or equal to, and 4 minus 4 is 0. The only thing I need to do is get rid of this negative symbol, and I do that by dividing by negative 1. The negatives will cancel. 0 divided by anything is still going to be 0, but because I divided by this negative 1, I have to remember to flip my inequality symbol. So this is going to get me x is less than or equal to 0. Again, I have to graph. So our number line, negative infinity, positive infinity on the right, and then 0 in the middle. Anything that's going to be less than 0 is going to be to the left. And because I have the or equal to portion of my answer, I know that I have to have a solid dot on 0. Everything's going to go to the left, like I said. This is going to be my graph. And again, from here we would start our interval notation. It starts at negative infinity and it ends at 0. So negative infinity, comma 0, parenthesis on negative infinity, bracket on 0. Okay, we have one more example. Example 4, I have negative 2 times x minus 4 minus 3x is less than negative 4x plus 1 plus 2. So I have some parentheses that I do need to get rid of. To get rid of these parentheses, I need to distribute the negative 2 and the negative 1. After I distribute, I will have negative 2x plus 8 minus 3x is less than negative 4x minus 1 plus 2x. You have to remember to bring the negative 3x down and the positive 2x down. Now, before I move any pieces, I'm going to look for my like terms. I notice that I have this negative 2x and this negative 3x on the left. I can combine those. So the left side will now say negative 5x plus 8. On the right side, I have this negative 4x and this positive 2x, and if I combine those, that's going to give me negative 2x, and I still have the minus 1. Now I'm going to start to move my pieces. I'm going to move the negative 2x over by adding it to both sides. The 2x will cancel out. Negative 5x plus 2x is going to be negative 3x. I have the plus 8 to bring down, the inequality symbol, and then the negative 1. I just need to get x by itself, so I need to move the 8 and then the negative 3. To move the 8, I would subtract 8 from both sides. These are going to cancel. And I have negative 3x is less than negative 9. To get x completely by itself, I need to finish this up by dividing both sides by negative 3. And these will cancel. Remember that I divided by a negative, so my sign will flip. This is going to become x is greater than 9. Or sorry, positive 3. Positive 3. So there's my answer. I still have to graph it. Negative infinity on the left, positive infinity on the right, 3 somewhere in between. This inequality symbol does not have an or equal to, so we're actually just going to use an open circle or an open dot, no fill. And then anything greater than 3 is going to be to the right of 3, towards positive infinity. And there you have solving linear inequalities.